It's 2 o'clock on, I think it's Wednesday. I'm not exactly just getting up, but, I woke up earlier today and just kind of went back to sleep. But I mean, this is why, because I'm not going to really get much up out of this bed more than I am right now. I been trying for several days to get something to go forward with my back. I've been trying to get in to see a back specialist, a pain specialist, get some steroid injections in my back, and the VA has done everything they can to deny me the service. You can talk about all these programs and stuff that you want to, uh, and you can believe them as much as you want to, but the fact of the matter is the VA is not taking care of us. It's publicly information. Veterans are dying all over the place begging for help, and the American people just sit by and don't do nothing. Buy their bullshit from Google and Amazon Prime, watch their YouTube and Netflix, and don't give a shit about what's happening around them until it happens to them. But needless to say, this all started off Monday. They've been waiting and waiting and waiting to hear back from this congressman's office. Congressman Kenneth Weber asked them for help. Uh, I got tired of waiting for him to call me back. She called me back. She could acknowledge she had something. She could say she's working on it. She could say what are we going, how are we going forward with this? Nothing, because they don't know they're not going to do nothing. It's just a process. They have to do it so that they can document the paperwork, but they have no intention of helping you. None. And they can pretend they're helping you, and some people they might be able to help just by, a little tweak and twack and this and that and some little video thing somebody's complaining about get help, heart medicine or point problem, whatever. But you're seriously sick, if you need real medical help, the VA can't provide it. They're incompetent. And their solution to that is to just lie to the American people, ignore the veterans until they die or go away. So, I went to this clinic over here in Lake Jackson first, and I wanted to make sure I had all my information together so I could take it to this congressman's office. And I asked for a copy of my medical records. And they denied that to me. They said, we cannot give you your medical records. So, I went to, from there, to my congressman's office. At least I got an appointment list to show them that I don't have any appointments on the books as of to date, and I've been begging them for 9 months to see a back specialist, and there's nothing going forward, no plan of action, no nothing. So, I went over there to their office, and the lady was there. She wouldn't call me back. She was in her office, and tried to explain to her then that they were that the clinic was too incompetent to be able to request a medical records from another doctor's office. They couldn't do it. They're unable to get a request records from another doctor. And then they're telling me that they can't do anything about my back until they have these records, which are 70, 80 miles away in Houston. And so I go up there to talk to that Congress lady about it to see if they can help me. They call EMS over there because my blood pressure was through the roof. My heart rate was racing. I was already in so much pain I could hardly sit there. I had to just lay down there on the ground and stretch out my back. Just lay on the back and put my knees up to my chest. The only way I can stretch my back out. And so I told them then that nothing's going to happen. There's nothing going to happen. There's nothing going to happen. I have chronic back pain. They're not going to treat chronic back pain at the ER. But you can't talk to these idiots. They're stupid. The paramedics are stupid. The police officers are stupid. They're stupid little punk ass kids with no education. They have no idea what's going on around them. All they do is come to work, beat people up, harass people, and steal money from them, and go home to their wives and think that they've done something for America. Cops and firemen, all of y'all kiss my ass. Y'all ain't nothing. A bunch of cocksuckers. Oh, I just gotta have to edit that out. Well, I just had to slide, but they like to suck on dead chickens. They bunch of like these old rooster cocks. Nevertheless, trying not to be abrasive, I allowed them to take me out of there, which they couldn't hardly do. The gurney could hardly get out of the thing. I don't even know why they call these people educated and engineers. The wheelchair barely fit in the elevator. I mean, the gurney couldn't hardly get it outside. Almost dropped me off the thing twice. Get to the hospital over here in Greater Brazoria County, which is also known as a terrible, terrible hospital for all you people that work at Brazosport Memorial. So, your peers think that y'all are awful too, so don't go patting yourself on the back over there too hard. I know that's all y'all do is throw parties and pat each other on the back with all the money y'all steal from the people for doing blood tests for no purpose. I went in there for my back hurting, and they want to do all this blood work and urine work because my back hurts. For documented injuries in my back, there's no mystery there. They just want to, they get money for all them tests, big money. So I am in the ER, and I've asked 4 or 5 people to turn the TV off or all the way down because the sound was just killing me. My head was hurting from this pain. I just couldn't take it. Anxiety, and all I can hear is this noise, cackling hens on TV. I'm like, please turn that off or down. And the doctor says, Come on, buddy, hurry up. I've got critical patients to see here. So I told him, don't let me stand in your way, and left, and literally crawled out of Brazosport Memorial Hospital on my hands and knees. They're all scraped up when I crawled out. I mean, this one scraped up more because then I fell in the parking lot because them curbs are so tall. I was trying to get out there to the street to get a cab. Somebody take me home and fell over that curb, and they just sit there and watch. They don't care about nobody. So I leave that hospital. Now it's at $17 to take a cab to get back to my car where they took me from. That's the love and generation of the hospital, to make sure that indigent people with no transportation can get back to where their vehicles are at or home. They don't care. They will push you out that front door and leave you out there to die. They don't give a shit. You think I'm lying? Google Houston, Herman, I think it was, a pregnant lady laid out there and died on the ground trying to deliver a baby in front of the hospital. That's America's health care. So that's what happens when people just don't care, just work for money. And when the American people close their eyes and so busy trying to get their money that they don't give a shit about anybody else either. But God has a plan for that, rest assured. So nevertheless, the Congress, when I got back to the congressman's office, there was a note on the door. It said, back at 3:30. And I mean, it was probably about 2:30 then, but they're on the 3rd floor. It's a long walk into that bank building and up that elevator and all the way down that hallway. And I can't make it all the way back and then up again. And so So I went up there to talk to them, and just was going to wait there in the hallway for them to get to their office. Well, the police showed up. Somebody called the cops on me. The cops asked me what I was doing there. I told them I'm sitting there waiting to talk to my congressman. They said they're going to be back at 3:30. It says right there on the door. They'll be back at 3:30, so I'm just going to wait here to talk to them. 3 more cops show up. That's a crippled veteran laying on the ground with a pair of shorts and an unbuttoned shirt and no socks and shoes. I couldn't even get dressed. The people at the gas station dressed me. And as mad as I get, I mean, I'm just about ready to try to get dressed and go up there right now. So I went from that hospital to the congressman's office. The cops took me downstairs. They said they're not going to be back today. Why are you here? As if it's any of their business. I said I'm trying to get these records that the VA can't get before I have to drive all the way to Tomball to go get them. It's like 60 something miles away to go get them, and I can hardly drive across the street without hurting myself. So the cop says, we got somebody, man, that does that kind of stuff. They'll take you up there and get your stuff so that you don't have to drive up there. They lied to me. They just wanted to put me in that car, detained me, and took me to the VA hospital in Houston. Because they don't listen. They just say, oh, this guy's mental health. Let's just take him up there to the hospital. No, I'm being tortured to death. I'm suffering from this back pain and I can't get nobody to help me. So they dropped me off at the VA in Houston again. That's 50 miles away. I no vehicle. I'm by myself. I've already told them it's not going to work. I'm sitting there. The doctor calls me in there. And the first thing the doctor says is, my boss says that I can't give you narcotics. I said, sir, I have not asked you for narcotics. What are you talking about? I'm asking you for injections in my back. They're non-narcotic. They work. They help me. And if y'all aren't going to give me pain medicine, y'all should damn sure at least be giving me that and some physical therapy and some people to help me live my life. I can't clean up. I can't cook anymore. God, I've not eaten in 5 days. And I mean, that's no lie. I have not eaten in 5 days. So the ER doctors, it's the same thing. You know, that we can do for you here. Send you out to the lobby. Out in the lobby. I'm in Houston by myself. No phone, no nothing. Just sitting up there in a wheelchair with no nothing. And some social worker lady, they got a assigned social worker to the ER there. Comes in there, asks me the same thing like 5 times, so I get so frustrated. I said, look, lady, I'm going to tell you one more time. They dropped me off up here with no transportation. I live in Clute and no way to get home, and I'm stranded up here. So then she goes gets a cop, and the cop asked me the same questions again, and I got so frustrated I was shaking. The VA cop says, yeah, I know how bad the VA healthcare is. Everybody up there knows. Everybody knows that the VA is a failure, but they're all so greedy to get their money that they don't care. It's so many jobs for people that couldn't even get a job anywhere else. Half of them are unemployable. God, it was like a circus up there. 22 veterans are dying a day, and they're up in there cackling and laughing and cutting up, and some ladies out there in the parking lot, some 65-year-old ladies out there struggling to get her 90-year-old oxygen breathing father into the car, and nobody's out there helping her. In the VA parking lot, in the ER parking lot. Some other veteran had to come inside and say, can somebody please come back out here and help this lady? She can't get her dad in the car. I thought somebody, you know, it's a good thing the old man didn't fall on the ground and bust his head open. So, The lady calls Yellow Cab and writes a $143 voucher to take me home that you paid for. Thank you, I appreciate that. $143 plus whatever the cops had in it for nothing. Cause it was just nothing happened. Nothing happened. So the next day, I get up and I go back to that clinic, and I can't think now how that happened. The next day, that was yesterday, I went back to that congressman's office to see if they had any luck getting that fax yet, because that's what they had talked about the day before. This was earlier in the day. Now the office is closed. There's no note on the door. There's nothing. They just locked the door, turned the lights off, gone. I don't even know. Then maybe they saw me coming up in the parking lot and turned all the lights out. I don't know. Cops came again. What are you doing here? I'm here to talk to my congressman. They're not here, but that's fine. I'll wait for them to get back. Again, phone calls made. And, they're not going to be here today. And so I told them, that then I'm going to drive up to Houston and go get these records. And they're like, man, we're not so sure that you're safe to really be driving in this condition. And I said, well, nobody else is helping me. And nothing's getting done. So if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. What am I supposed to do? I can't sit here and wait for the VA to do it because it's not going to happen. So I went to Tomball to the clinic up there. Of course, my car started overheating. I don't have anything. I told them all this stuff already. My car started overheating. I managed to get it to the Houston city limits. And first time I had to pull over and put water in it. And when I pulled up there to the clinic in Tomball, it's off 290, I think, 249, one of the two. But it was red line hot when I pulled up to the curb. And I'd been in that car now for a good hour or something. Man, my back was just in a knot. My back was just in a spastic knot. And so, generally when that happened, all I could do is lay on my back, pull my knees up to my chest, and kind of get those things, stretch those muscles out. And in that process, I've already got a weak bladder from this back problems that I have. It's dribbling and things like that, something I've struggled with a lot, but it's the first time I actually peed on myself. And I don't know if my emotions or so was done or whatever, but I just all of a sudden was just incontinent and peed. I couldn't use the bathroom myself. I had no food in my stomach, and that's what happened when I got started getting nauseated from all that dry heaving, and they putting this bag in my face. I said, "There's nothing's coming out. There's nothing in my stomach." Well, we call an ambulance over here. These were the people there. The clinic was closed, by the way. They closed early that day. They closed at like 4:15. I think I got there at 4:30 something. But there were other business people there. They came out and saying how that we're gonna take care of you, man. We'll get you some help. I said, please don't call EMS. They're not gonna help me. Just let me rest here for a minute and I'll leave. But, being the brilliant Americans that they are, they called the police because the police are there to help everybody. And the EMS is there, and they're so smart and educated and know how to take care of people that they're going to take care of you. And we fought for probably 30 minutes. To the point the cop wanted to start to try to arrest me. He wanted to ask me if I was drinking and look at my eyes. I thought he was going to give me a field sobriety test. I told him to kiss my ass. I don't drink. I don't do nothing. You just go straight to hell, as far as I'm concerned. But they said that they would refuse. They were refusing to let me drive.
And so I started to leave. I started to walk away on my cane, and uh, you know, got about a block or whatever, sit down to rest, and that'd be the best I could do is just keep going bit by bit, and get the hell out of there. And they continue to harass me. They continue to uh, uh, pursue me and detain me, and uh, and put me in the ambulance. The ambulance took me to Willowbrook Hospital, Willowbrook Methodist Hospital. I laid out there in the hallway in a gurney. God, it was a nightmare. There was a lot of sick people up there. That hospital looked like it was already overwhelmed. I couldn't believe it. Nobody had masks on. There were people coughing and sick everywhere, dribbling shit all over the floor. Nobody seemed to give a shit. I don't be surprised if there's an outbreak. You kill all them people. Ain't nobody up there protected. But uh, and people with flu and coughing and sick all over. But I didn't have fever or nothing. They just put me out there and left me in the hallway for 2, 3 hours. Kind of comfortable in the gurney. It's not that bad. Unless I can get it positioned pretty good where I can roll from side to side, lay on my back, and keep my legs bent. And it's not quite that bad. Uh, Laying there, especially after driving all that time, I was able to kind of lay there and relax, and just like I was laying on the concrete for that shop, they're just embarrassed to see the reality of how we're being treated in public. They just want to hide it as fast as they can, and that's all this is about, is hiding it. We don't want the people to see that. Just hide it. Get him out of here. Go throw him in a hole somewhere. Nobody will know. Man, he'll commit suicide, and then we're done with it. And so I ended up at the Willowbrook Hospital. Uh, they came in there again and would do blood and urine. It was pointless. And what they doing all this blood and urine work for? Because I got a bad back. Because it's billable. Because they can get money for that. That's what that's about. Them getting money. And so, uh, and put a portacath in my arm for no reason. There's nothing went into that portacath, but that's another billable event. That's a piece of medical equipment that they probably charge $150 for. So the doctor comes in there and says, we can get you something for your pain. We can get you uh, something for your nausea. Cause I get this kind of nauseated. I think it's more anxiety than anything, but I'm certainly not taking another pill for that. It's not that bad, so uh, I waited for the lady to come back with all the paperwork, and she's showing me all these scripts. There's nothing really in there for pain. Uh, some gabapentin or some shit that I've been taking that I've already told them didn't work. It was just a futile exercise, and made me an appointment to see an orthopedic doctor in Houston. I've been told 25 people that day that I do not live in Houston, and they still don't listen. They don't listen to nothing you say because they're so smart they don't have to. Ask you questions and they interrupt you. So they handed me that paper and said, "Shit." I said, "Lady, that's none of this ain't good for me. It's not good, nothing for me. You know, I didn't ask to be here. Y'all said y'all gonna treat me, and y'all come up here with this. Pull that portacanth out of my arm, and left. Same thing. She's like, well, we care and we want to help you. So how can we call somebody? How can we get you home? I said, no, man, you can't call nobody. I don't live up here. I don't even have my phone. I don't have an Uber. I don't even have nothing. And I damn sure don't have the money to go be buying another cab. I done spent so much money on gas and cab rides the day before. So that's it. If you don't have money to take you, they're not gonna help. They don't care. They want to present this air attitude like they care, but they don't. They're not going to do shit for you. If it costs money to help you, then you're screwed. And I was. And my car was like 5 miles away from the hospital. And I asked that lady to just tell me, where's 1960 so that I can kind of start making one. She says, I don't know. You work at this hospital and you don't know where the 1960, the major thoroughfare that cuts across North Houston between 249 and 290, that's on the boundary of this hospital building, you don't know where it's at? And so I left him and walked the wrong way for probably 20 minutes, walked the whole wrong way. Just with that cane like a pogo stick with both hands on it. Hunched over like I'm 90 years old, stumbling, little bitty baby steps. Took me 3 hours. Said I had to stop and rest and stop and rest. It started raining and stopped, laying in the rain, laying on the side of the street. Not one person stopped that whole way. And I'm walking down the street in the middle of the night, they can't even barely stand up. Not one person offered to help me. And so got to a gas station and asked that guy where I was at and how far I thought I was going to Walters Road. It was the wrong road. He said 5.9 miles. I almost fell out. I was like, oh my God. But there was 2 guys standing out in front of this bar. The only people that help you, the white collar guys or whatever, blue collar, whatever you call them, the poor guys, the working man. They're compassionate. They care. And that guy was like, Walters Road's all the way back down the other way, man. You're going all the way the wrong way. And I'm like, no, man, I'm going the right way. I know it's just right down the street a little more. He's like, oh, you mean Jones Road? And I'm like, oh, yeah, Jones Road. So if any of y'all are interested, it was the Willowbrook Hospital in 1960 to Jones Road was how far I had to walk or crawl or stumble or whatever you want to talk about. That's why I can't get out of this bed today. My back and my legs are hurting so bad I can't hardly even move. Or I'd be over that congressman's office right now raising mortal hell. But I need to go get me some signs to make up some signs and stuff. I can start publicizing it in their face, but trying to keep this under 30 minutes. So, needless to say, I got to my car. There was no water in it, no gas in it. The guy that took me there offered to give me money. He didn't offer anything. Poor guy, he don't have nothing. He's the only one that was willing to really help me out. You need some money. You need some money for drink, gas. I was like, no, man, I'm good. He stayed there with me till my car cranked, and I drove away. He was still sitting there. I went and got gas and water, and got up on the freeway, and before I even got past the Galleria in Houston, the car was overheating. And so I had a gallon of water in the car. I pulled over and put a gallon of water at the Galleria. Was able to make it around to 610 and to Pearland before it ran hot again. Just to pull over and put water in it there at Pearland. Then I made it another 14 miles or so and stopped again and put water in it. No, I think I put 8 stops on my way home to put water in the car to get my car home. And when I pulled up in the driveway, it was pegged red. I was close enough I could just put it in neutral, let it coast on in. To get into the parking lot, came in here, just basically collapsed. I had some 1.5 milligram Klonopin that my buddy had given me, and I took that and was able to just knocked me right out. And was actually able to sleep some pretty good sleep, I guess. I didn't get home until 5:30 this morning. I went to that congressman's office yesterday early in the afternoon and got home at 5:30. And the last 2 days, all that stuff, nothing's changed and nothing's happened. You know, I called the suicide crisis hotline before I went to bed and talked to them about it. Told them that I'm struggling, and this is pushing me so far that I just don't know what to do, and things are spiraling. If it wasn't for Red, this is my lifesaver right here. I just don't want to abandon him. He's such a good boy. He's been through so much, and he wouldn't know what to do without me. But he's old now. It wouldn't be long for him, so it might be a tough couple of years left, Red. But I'm not wanting to leave you just yet. So I'm going to try to appeal to these American people one more time and see if somebody somewhere has got something to say. Hell, if y'all could just get me in to see a doctor. If you're a doctor, you review my medical case. If you're a surgeon, could you please look at my back and my neck and see if something can be done other than what the lies the VA are telling me. Yeah, 2 days, hundreds of miles, hundreds of dollars in costs, and the end result, zero. The VA does not care about us, and the medical industry does not treat chronic pain. So if you got chronic pain and the only thing that seems to be working for you are narcotics and steroids, you are screwed. You might as well just go home and die, is the disposition that I'm getting from the VA, because they just don't give a shit. And rightly so, because nobody's there is keeping them accountable. The taxpayers don't hold them accountable. The lawmakers don't hold them accountable. And ask for, I need you to sign us a letter of a release of information. You don't need a letter of release of information to go onto the internet and see how bad the VA is killing us, buddy. Do that. That's part of your job. Go do some research. How many veterans are dying and begging for help? How many veterans have committed suicide that have been going to the VA asking for help and not getting it? What I'd like to know, I want to see some of the letters and things that these guys had to say before they committed suicide. Now that they're dead, that information ought to be made public. Despite what the families say, the families might be trying to hide stuff too because they weren't doing enough to take care of their husband or daughter or wife or whatever was in the military. You know, they may not have, oh, we'll help you, baby. Yeah, well, good luck with that. We'll see you. Checks in the mail. So I'm looking for my mouse. I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to have to edit this one. I guess it's long. Today is March something. It's 3 o'clock almost. It's March the 3rd, 4th. And this is it. I'm going to go in there and get in that tub and soak in that tub, but I don't think I'll be able to probably do anything else the rest of this week, including go pay bills. So none of my bills will get paid. They're all going to be late. So ain't nothing I can do about it. I just got to lay here and suffer. So thank you for your support.